Hey, what's up? This is Gardetrace. I have had this video in development hell for long enough. I haven't done an anime review since I did my Sword Art Online review back in November of 2017. I should have had this video done by January or February of 2018, but things kept getting in the way and I kept putting it off. The closest thing I did to one of these types of videos last year was when I did my game review of Dragon Ball FighterZ. But I'm definitely bringing my anime reviews back. Alongside my Dragon Ball CinemaSins videos, they're a big part of why I became a YouTuber in the first place. And this year will be a return to form of what I want my channel to be. I will always do Dragon Ball videos, but that's not all I'm going to do. Now that that's out of the way, let's review the anime from 2015 by Studio Madhouse, One Punch Man. Enter Saitama, an unemployed 22-year-old man who dreams of becoming a superhero, however real life is in the way. But thanks to an encounter with a villain threatening to kill a child whose face looks like a butt crack, it fuels his drive to pursue his dreams. So he spends the next 3 years doing a rigorous training exercise consisting of 100 push-ups, 100 sit-ups, 100 squats, and a 10-kilometer run every day in order to become strong enough to be a superhero. He trains so hard, he goes bald. He gets his wish. The training worked, and now he's a superhero. Unfortunately, it worked too well. He's become so strong that nothing provides a challenge to him. Any enemy he faces gets defeated in one punch. So now Saitama feels very empty and unfulfilled. Having all of this power has had Saitama come to a realization.
Having overwhelming strength is pretty boring, actually.
So Saitama looks like Ikkaku Madarame from Bleach, while having abilities similar to that Fullbringer with the jackpot knuckle. Wait a minute. Here's the thing that everyone gets wrong about Saitama. His superpower is not the ability to defeat everything in one punch. It's the fact that he's so super powerful, it only takes one punch to defeat anything. There's not much you can do with this type of premise. There's no tension. There's no drama. There's no sense that the hero might lose. If the hero can defeat anything in one punch, then he can't be put in any danger because he can easily punch his way out of it. So if that's the case, why should I care? How can I get invested in a character with a story breaker power? Simple. If he can't be challenged physically, challenge him in a different way. A way that no amount of punching will solve. For as powerful as Saitama is, he gets no recognition. No one knows who he is. Then he learns of the Hero Association, who assigns ranks and numbers to heroes. The ranks determine what types of threat a hero is capable of handling, and the numbers determine where you stack up against others within your rank. The lowest are C-ranked heroes who handle street-level petty crimes, and the highest are S-ranked heroes who handle Dragon Ball Z level threats. So Saitama decides to register. With Saitama's abilities, you'd think his rank would be very high. How could it not be? When he takes the physical exam, he not only passes with flying colors, he breaks every record they have. So he's gotta be an S-ranked hero, right? Well, no. He aces the physical exam, but fails the written exam, so he's given a C rank. What the fuck? A C rank? Bullshit! His talents are wasted in that rank. He may not be the brightest bulb in the chandelier, but clearly he's deserving of far better than that. However, this has to happen to him. The problem is no one believes he's that powerful. The public thinks he's a fraud, they think he's cheating, they think he's taking credit for other people's work. It doesn't matter if he saves the day, his publicity is really bad, and no one sees him for the hero he really is. Although Saitama does want to be loved by the people, he's still all about being a hero and doing what a hero must do. I'll get more into that later. But this is where Saitama's challenge comes in, and we're given something to invest in. And this is a clever way to challenge someone who can't be challenged otherwise. Saitama meets a cyborg named Genos, who has a more traditional hero's tale. He is seeking to bring the cyborg who killed his family to justice. Genos is actually very powerful. However, he's not powerful enough to solve all of his problems, and he, of course, isn't as powerful as Saitama. He is his own biggest critic and is constantly looking to improve himself, and when he witnesses Saitama's power firsthand, he decides to become Saitama's pupil, although Saitama really has nothing to teach him. Genos is the one who informs Saitama about the Hero Association, and when he registers, he becomes an S-ranked hero, so he's ranked way higher than Saitama. He gets a good public reception, people really like him, and he gets fan letters. However, he knows he still has a ways to go in terms of his abilities, so his situation is the opposite of Saitama's. Also, there are a lot of other heroes, each with their own dynamic personalities. There's Moomin Rider, a C-ranked everyman hero who isn't super powerful, however he's super determined to fight for justice. Then there's Silver Fang, the old, highly skilled martial arts master. There's also Tatsumaki, who is a powerful psychic and has a massive Napoleon complex due to how short she is. She's about the size of that girl from that one hentai. The heroes all feel unique, however there's not enough time to flesh out everyone in a 12-episode series. The main villains themselves have their own dynamic personalities as well, and each one feels different from the last. Some are so downright silly it's hilarious. Though the villains don't last very long when Saitama's around. The show progresses in a Monster of the Week format where villains appear out of nowhere and begin wrecking shit. You thought Dragon Ball villains wouldn't stop coming? Well, you ain't seen anything yet. The villains appear so frequently and out of nowhere to the point where shit gets wrecked faster than people can rebuild it. The cities themselves are generic to the point that they don't have names, instead they're assigned letters, and some cities are more prone to attacks than others. There are some instances where Saitama is not around when villains strike, so it's up to the other heroes to take on the threat, but they're fighting out of their weight class and ultimately fail. Genos himself is also constantly a victim of the Wharf effect. So all hope seems lost until Saitama shows up at the last minute, punches the villain out, saving the day. This is similar to Dragon Ball, where Goku eventually gets reduced to a plot device who comes in at the last minute to save the day. However, One Punch Man handles this much better, keeps Saitama a relevant part of the story and not just simply a plot device, and it helps to build on his character. The series does have a formula, however, it mixes things up enough that nothing feels tired or repetitive. And the fact that they're able to do this with a premise that sounds really dumb on paper shows that there are no bad ideas, just bad execution. And if there's anything that One Punch Man gets right, it's execution. The animation of One Punch Man is a really interesting subject. It originally started off as a crudely drawn webcomic made by the artist One, but the popularity of the webcomic led to a manga adaptation with high quality art. And the popularity of that led to an anime adaptation. Wow. One Punch Man really came a long way to get to this point. The animation and art direction itself is very dynamic, as at one point you'll have very detailed characters moving very fluidly, and they're juxtaposed by moments where the character designs mimic how they look in the webcomic, and the animation is more limited. This is greatly reflected on Saitama, as his facial expressions go through major art shifts depending on how seriously he takes a situation. As for the action sequences, it basically becomes Sakuga, the anime. The movements are very fluid, and the choreography is exceptional to boot. It's no surprise considering this is Studio Madhouse we're talking about, and they're known for their quality animation. Look at other projects like Redline, which is basically Sakuga the movie, and older projects such as Battle Angel Alita, which is really old, but still has gorgeous animation to this day. And when it comes to One Punch Man, it didn't have as high of a budget as some of Madhouse's other projects, which makes the animation all the more impressive. The soundtrack is awesome and really adds to the mood and atmosphere. There are a lot of guitar riffs and hard rock tracks that intensify the badass factor exponentially. When I hear the music during the fight scenes, it makes me want to jump into the action myself. But it's not all high energy music, it also has its more relaxed, down-to-earth tracks, and even some somber ones as well. Not every track can be fast-paced, or else it'll start to blend together. You need variety, that way everything can have more of an impact. This series understands that very well, and that's also reflected in its opening and ending credits. The opening is high-octane badassery as Saitama kicks ass left and right to one of the most badass opening theme songs in anime, and has one hell of a finish. Then there's the ending theme, which is a very relaxing song, and the visuals are panning shots over different locations within Saitama's neighborhood. This ending calms you down, that way the opening can build you back up for the next episode. I first saw this series subbed when it was streaming on the now defunct website Daisuke, then saw it dubbed when it was on Toonami, and saw the dub again on Blu-ray. I have no preference of dubbed versus subbed in this, but I think the actors do a good job on both sides. I like Max Middleman as Saitama, and even though there's one particular scene that I felt was done better in the Japanese version,
またワンパンで終わっちまった。クソったれ
then the dub.
Not again. All it took was one punch.
Damn it! His performance is great overall. half of the series, the Sea King is wreaking havoc on the city, and numerous heroes step in to stop him, only to be defeated one after the other. This is the moment in the series that has the greatest sense of dread than any moment before, and all hope seems lost for everyone. Then Saitama shows up and does what he does best: defeating villains in one punch. The day is saved, and the people finally praise Saitama. It looks like he's finally proven himself to be the real deal. The next scene shows Saitama and Genos at home opening fan letters. When Saitama opens one for him, we learn it was a fake out. The people still hate him. What the fuck? How can y'all hate him after he just saved all of your asses? Cutting back to the end of the fight, this fish-lipped motherfucker starts talking shit about how the other heroes must have been weak for being defeated so easily. Maybe the Sea King wasn't very tough, but these weak heroes made him seem like a bigger deal than he really was, considering he's ultimately defeated by a C-rank hero. Fuck this fish-lipped bitch. His ass would have gotten murdered the fuck out along with everyone else if it weren't for all these heroes stepping in to hold back the Sea King. Saitama hears this and decides to be the bigger man. He says the only reason he could defeat the Sea King is because the other heroes wore it down. We know that's not true, but they don't. So they start to call him a fake who takes credit for other heroes' work all over again as he directs all of their hate towards him. He takes the fall for the other heroes because he doesn't want people to lose their faith in heroes. Even though he gets disappointed that no one likes or knows about him, he isn't selfish. He doesn't want to be loved at the expense of the other heroes, so he shoulders all the hatred. This is what makes Saitama such a compelling character in spite of being overpowered. He's not the hero they want, he's the hero they need. But they don't deserve him. However, some good does come out of this, and Saitama gets promoted to being a B-ranked hero. That's not much, that's still way too low of a rank for Saitama, but at least he's progressing. Towards the end, an alien invasion threatens Earth, and the S-Class heroes spring into action to defeat it. The cool thing about this is the other heroes aren't used as a measuring stick to make the villain look very powerful, only for Saitama to one-shot it. The S-Class heroes show off why they're so awesome in the first place as they work together to eliminate the threat, and it gives the chance to showcase more strategic fighting than what we've seen in the series before. Then Saitama infiltrates the spaceship and punches his way through until he encounters Boros. Boros is in the same boat as Saitama. He's gotten so powerful, nothing provides a challenge. He's been seeking someone capable of challenging him, and now he's found it. But Saitama takes him out in one punch, or so it seems. Boros has a regeneration ability as overpowered as Majin Buu's, so it's going to take a lot of punches to take him out. This fight is purely a spectacle as it has gorgeous animation and choreography, and Boros knocks Saitama around and even knocks him to the moon, proving to be Saitama's strongest opponent yet, but at the end of the day, he was still no match for Saitama. This doesn't have the emotional beats like the Sea King incident before did, and it was mostly just a way for the series to end with a bang. However, it's not a disappointing ending, and at least this series doesn't resort to any cop-out filler ending to hastily try to wrap things up in a little bow. This ending makes you want more, but it satisfies you for the time being. There's still a lot more ground to cover, especially with all the other characters involved. There's also Genos' story about trying to find the cyborg who killed his parents. Though there's still a lot more story to tell, but we've had to wait 4 years for Season 2. One Punch Man shows just how much mileage you can get out of a premise that sounds like a really dumb idea for a series. If the hero can defeat every villain with one punch, then there'd be nothing to get invested in, or so we thought. This series doesn't do anything particularly new, however, it does a great job of taking familiar tropes and subverting our expectations.
And subverting all the cliches.
That's amazing coming from a series where the hero's encounter with every villain ends the same. But that isn't what it's about. This series is about everything surrounding those moments and gives us a reason to invest in the hero, and combined with its stellar animation, One Punch Man is a hell of an experience. So, with everything into consideration, I will be rewarding One Punch Man with a score of 9.1 out of 10, giving it a platinum rating with the recommendation to own it. Like, seriously, go buy this shit. Put this shit on your shelf and be proud that it's there. On the positive side, the action sequences have very fluid animation and the choreography is very dynamic. It has a kick-ass soundtrack. It does a great job at throwing curveballs at the audience. And also, each character, whether hero or villain, are very unique and they stand out from one another. On the negative side, even though each character stands out, this series suffers from too many character syndrome, especially for its short episode length. Also, the series does run on a formula. Even though it switches things around, it will still have a formula, but that's to be expected from a series where the hero's encounter with every villain ends the same. One Punch Man is licensed by Viz Media and is available for streaming on Netflix. For alternative anime recommendations, I could point you towards My Hero Academia, another superhero-based anime, which focuses on a hero that, unlike Saitama, is greatly underpowered and is looking to become a hero in spite of it. I could also point you towards Mob Psycho 100, another series created by the webcomic artist One, and is very reminiscent to One Punch Man in many ways. So that wraps up this review. Season 2 has been announced. It's been announced for years now, but we finally have a release date, which is April 10th. So we're finally going to get more of the story that we've waited for so long. Now, of course, the story has long since been going on in the manga, and it's even further ahead in the webcomic. So, of course, no spoilers in the comments. Just because you read the manga or the webcomic, that doesn't mean the rest of the world has. So what do you guys think of One Punch Man? Let me know all your thoughts in the comments below. Also, like this video and subscribe to my channel for more content. That'll be the end of this video. Have a good day, everyone. This is Trace, signing out. Quick announcement. From April 12th to the 14th, I will be attending Kamehacon, taking place at the Irving Convention Center. I will not be having a panel, however I will be walking around, and I look forward to the opportunity of getting to meet my fans in person. When we come back for my next CinemaSins video, we'll be taking a look at the movie where Gohan defeats the villain. In a remastered version of Everything Wrong with The Dead Zone. Aren't I a son of a bitch?
Okay.
100 push-ups, 100 sit-ups, and 100 squats!
The boss man has become passionately curious about you and your body.
Too bad. I'm not interested in dudes.
I will not play rock, paper, scissors with you! You've got a booger on your finger!
You disgust me. Get lost.
What's with the attitude from this lost child?
Bastards! Those thieves! They stole my look! I spend all this time trying to be a hero, but if they keep acting like jackasses, I'll be treated like a villain! That's it, yeah!
Unforgivable. So I'm a brat, huh? I'm older than you, metal jackass!
Whoa, Genos. That means... today is... bargain day at the supermarket!
Checkmate. Oops.
Sorry.